So until you don't own, until like they don't have you by the balls, that's your boss. That's who runs your life. You know? So I'm just thinking, bro, like what more can I do, man? It's really exhausting.
Well, firstly, it's the feeling of fulfillment, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's the feeling of fulfillment, and it's the why. Hello and welcome to the Hustle Over Everything podcast. This is the podcast where we receive stories, tips, and tactics from entrepreneurs who have done it. This week is a focus production podcast where it's just between the two of us, and we just dive deep into specific topics we care about, and just give y'all a podcast that this is checking in between the two of us. You know what I'm saying? So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, subscribe to us on whatever podcast platform you're listening to. Is very important. If you haven't already, make sure you purchase some merch. It really helps support the podcast and helps get to the next step. So yeah, bro.
Get to the next level, bro.
Get to the next level. But today we should talk about the topic at hand. We wanted to dive deep into Insecure. Something different for us.
Something different. Insecure is a show that is how do you describe Insecure? For the
Insecure,
people who don't know
written and produced by Issa, and it is a phenomenal show. It's a cult classic at this point. It's almost like a sitcom for the millennial black person. It shows the days in the lives of Issa, the main character, as well as her friends and other men in her life, and it's a real life portrayal of what's going on in the Black American life. But the thing that I found really interesting though was, I think it was like the second episode where it started, where Issa had built her business up and started to receive feedback from corporate that was affecting the communities that she was involved with, and particularly Crenshaw, which is an interesting name, and the actor. I don't know if you saw about Kofi. I don't know if he was hitting the same acting prowess he was hitting in all the other shows.
I kind of felt that too. Like in
Queen Sugar.
Yeah. He legit murked that role.
Killed it.
Ate it. Like he legit marauded that role. Like look at me using different words to describe. Like I'm trying to think of like killed doesn't do it justice. Legit, he invented a new level of like, homicidal acting. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So to give some context into Insecure, by the way, like great show. But by the way, give a shout out to Issa Rae, man. Like how she started? She was like posting like stuff on YouTube. To get to where she is today. Like she
Insecure.
had her
Awkward Black Girl.
right?
Yeah.
Like she produced that on her own, man. Like, and to see her where she is today is a phenomenal feat to accomplish. But to give some better context and around what happened in this episode. So Crenshaw is this person who was an inmate before, and now he started like his own fashion line, which like really exudes like the life of like
the lifestyle of like a Black American man from Compton.
And Issa is stuck in a little conundrum, right? She's like stuck in, okay, here I am looking to represent NWS. This is like a sponsor. They're sponsoring the event, and she's looking to help Crenshaw get on this, and they've been working on it for about 6 months.
This is all finally coming together.
Oh, agreed. But I'm a little concerned that this show might be a bit big for Crenshaw's level of experience.
What do you mean?
Well, it's pretty long. It's at the high end of our budget. And I noticed in the presentation there's supposed to be a group of drummers, interpretive dancers, multimedia, and people on lowrider bicycles.
Yeah, I don't know how you show perseverance without lowriders. I mean, this is what we talked about from the beginning.
Yeah, I know it's last minute, but we have some relationships with a few artists that are on the same vibe as Sean, but they're a bit more established and experienced.
Yeah, artists like Blue Parrot, Renaissance, Edict.
Yeah, I'm familiar, but none of them are from the community like Crenshaw is.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of great options, so think about it.
So now, when she's looking to do this event, the corporate sponsor tells them, hey, you know what? There's a couple things in this show that we feel like are too, I'm just going to say it, it's too black.
Facts. Too forward.
It's too black. It's too
black.
It's too, it's just going to make everyone uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
They tell Issa, you know what? These things with the lowrider bicycle stuff, they's got to go. The things with the drummers and everything like that, hey, this isn't for us.
Mm-hmm.
So the issue at hand here is when you're met with a corporate sponsor and you yourself as a creator, you can be a podcaster, you can be a musician, an artist, or any type of business that has authentic roots into who they are. They don't really mold themselves into anybody just to fit into a certain thing or fabric. Is it right that you should tone yourself down to fit into what a corporate sponsor wants out of you? That's what we're talking about here.
Yeah. And I found it very interesting because the thing is that she approached him, right?
Yes.
So I think that's like a big thing is who approaches who.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if he approaches them, then maybe there's room for
they have leverage.
They have leverage.
They have
You're
leverage.
coming to you.
Yep.
So, but if they're approaching him, then I feel like he has the leverage, and he should be able to command whatever he wants.
Mm-hmm.
That's my first take on that. And the thing is that there wasn't anything actually wrong. There was no liability that really came with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not like he's like, yo, I want to have people doing aerials and have that on cement. So there's a big liability waiver that needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
He was having drums. He was having things that I guess might have been perceived as ghetto. It wasn't black, actually. It was ghetto.
It's ghetto.
It was ghetto. That was the thing.
Yeah.
Because if they were doing African drums and, you know,
It's more cultural.
it was something more cultural, it'd be like, oh yeah, this is cultural. But because it was lowriders, like, oh, I don't know if this is on brand. You know, when they say on brand, they're trying to say this is not. It's too black.
It's
for
too
us.
black for us. You know what I'm saying? It's too
Yeah.
ghetto. It's too... And I think the best way to describe it, it might be too edgy. That's another word they'll use. It's too edgy.
It's too edgy.
It's too edgy for us. Which mean code word like, hey, like, take that whatever stuff, your ghetto stuff, whatever, like, it's too hood for us, and leave that out. And keep, like, all, like, the cookie cutter stuff.
So what do you think about Issa's response?
Issa did the best she could. She was stuck in a difficult position because here she is. She's really trying to build a business. She's really trying to help Crenshaw, and she's really looking to bridge, to really have a good relationship with the sponsor for the event. It's tough for Issa because she's building a company. She's quasi-established because she had like one successful block party event.
Got the 10K followers.
Got 10K followers. She's coming up, right? So now she's looking to build up on that momentum. So for Issa, it's not like she can say, like, you know when you say I have FU money?
She
like,
don't.
She doesn't have FU money.
Nope.
Right? So she can't really say, you know what, screw you guys. I can go to anybody. I can go to my Rolodex right now and pick up my phone and just call anyone.
She got IM money.
She got IM money.
I am going to do that.
I'm going to do that,
You know what I'm
right?
saying?
Like, so, man, with Issa's position, she can't do much, man, but tell the guy, like, hey, can you just take this out? Right? Because she needs Crenshaw, right? She needs Crenshaw and Crenshaw needs her. Because of
No, Crenshaw does not need her. He
Doesn't
was
need
still,
her at
he was
all.
still on his way. He was getting orders same way. He still had those people from jail, you know, working away because he was getting orders. So his company would have still continued to...
popped.
Exactly.
Right? So it's like Issa needs this more than anything. And also like the corporate sponsors, they need them as well too. Because if you're looking to like help like the image of like, hey, this is like an inmate or whatever, you're bringing it out, then be committed to that. Don't half-ass to say that, hey, can you take this out? Can you do whatever? If you're going all in, go all in. There's no like tippy-toeing than that. My thing is like, as a corporate sponsor.
All right, so hold on. Finish your thought. I got something for you.
No, just because I'm about to go to like corporate. I'm about to defend the corporate side.
All right.
You as a corporate sponsor, you have what's called a corporate brand that you got to maintain. This goes to say like, yo, bruv, if Microsoft wanted to do like a sponsored event, right? And knowing Microsoft is like corporation, Fortune 500 company, legacy shit. When you think of Microsoft, what do you think about? When you think of them sponsoring something, and you think about the thing of Crenshaw, do you think they would allow that to happen?
Possibly. Honestly. Like, all right, so they could sponsor if it's paired correctly. For instance, if it was Microsoft, Vogue, GQ, I could see like
The logo fitting in.
I
there
can see that,
somewhere.
you know what I'm saying? So it's all together, and then Crenshaw's there, so it's like a fashion, and then you know what I'm saying? So it kind of lines. If it was just Microsoft and Crenshaw, it would feel like it's misaligned.
But bro,
honestly,
what you're doing right now is you're buffering Microsoft by adding.
I'm
you're
stretching it.
You're stretching it. You're fluffing them so like they don't have a lot of blowback. No, I'm saying it's just like if they're the only sponsor, what do you think about that
If Microsoft was the only sponsor for the Crenshaw
fashion show? Because
it does feel off.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a visceral reaction.
Exactly.
It does feel off.
What we're talking about here is, is it okay for companies to say, hey, we want to sponsor, we'll give you $1 million, but you can't do that. You as a creator, right? But you want to work with me, but you want to tone it down for me, right? So it's like partnerships that perhaps don't really have a lot of synergy, but they could benefit from each other. So two separate entities that don't really match, but they could have a good, hey, Microsoft can look good by helping an inmate turned entrepreneur, and inmate turned entrepreneur can get a benefit from actually, hey, Microsoft actually gave you props. You know what I'm saying? So even though they don't really work, they benefit each other.
Honestly, they just have to do it. Okay, so I feel like that's where Issa's job, lies for real. Because if Microsoft had come to sponsor that event, Issa's job would have been to properly frame that to make sense. Like they could have had Crenshaw designing, stuff on the Microsoft CAD programming.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
They could have had a way of properly putting it together. Microsoft owns Xbox, so if they had a way of involving everything around there, so it's like a more synergistic thing. Because if you think Microsoft off top, it might not flow, right? But if you think, for instance, if you think Apple off top, it might not flow. But if you did Apple Music, for instance, if Apple and YG was to do it doesn't really sound like it makes sense. But if you did Apple Music, YG, now it starts to make sense.
The synergy there.
So I feel like Issa's job is to actually make that, synergy make sense.
But for guys, like it gets to a point where there might not be even any synergy, because if you look at synergy, you legit have to really search.
You sound so corporate with synergy.
Synergies.
Oh my god! Yeah, keep going.
Strategize initiatives.
Word.
If you look at it like that, bro, like it's so hard to find opportunities like that because they're so hard to find. And then it's like, hey, there's probably a handful of them, but then do they even want to work with you? So it's like, it's for her, it's let me take what I can get and make it fit. And she's trying to make it fit. And in the process of making it fit, these are the things you come onto. Now, is it fair to accept money when someone tells you you can't do what you can do and be seen as a sellout? What do you think about that?
There's levels to it. Like, for instance, if you're Gary Vee and someone says, yo, you can't cuss, and Gary Vee's like, I'll just bleep it out. That there's like a median level, right? And Issa was trying to be somewhat like trying to play it in the middle, because after there was blowback, like he was trying to call her a sellout and thing, and I felt like that was unnecessary.
So
personally.
unnecessary, bro.
Yeah, you thought it was unnecessary? Do you think he had a point?
He had a. You have to look at the context of this, right? Someone like Crenshaw is just. He's like hood man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like truly authentic.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like what Jay-Z said. You know, I walk in any room and I'm the same Jay that I was to the janitor, the same way that I'll be you as a CEO of like Disney. Let's say if it's to Bob Iger, right? I'll be the same way I'm way to Bob.
Do you believe that? Do you think Jay-Z is talking to the CEO the same way he's talking to the janitor?
Yeah, of course. I think Jay-Z is like, if Jay-Z were to like roll by, it's an elderly 80-year-old man, 70-year-old man, no matter race or background, he'll treat him. I think Jay-Z will treat him the same way, with respect, the same way, and talk to him as Jay-Z the same way he'll talk to Bob Iger or Tim Cook or whoever.
Okay. Who do you think wouldn't? Let's get spicy.
Would not talk
Yeah, it's the exact same way.
from hip hop community.
Sure.
I think someone who is willing to switch up within a room full of powerful people and be like, hey, how's it going? Whatever. Right? Like when there's money involved, and then there's the janitor.
They ain't caring.
I can see probably, I hate to say this, and it's kind of weird because she's a woman, so it's kind of different. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like Rihanna.
You think Rihanna would do that?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What makes you say that?
Because Rihanna has a very, I think maybe just, it's hard because women, they're not going to like, hey, janitor, because of course they're thinking, oh, who's this girl talking to me, right? As a janitor, like, who's this beautiful woman talking to me? You know what I mean? Like, so that's why women have to have like this exterior of like, hey, I'm going to like be all hard and like, I'm not going to be interested. I'm going to like just kind of give you the cold shoulder so you actually just move away from me, because they get so much attention. So maybe a woman will not be a good example for this because they exist in two different lanes, right? When there's nothing to give, let's say a man-to-man level.
Well, before you go to man, then I think Wendy Williams would be someone who would do that. She's like, give a fuck
wow.
about that.
Good example. Good example.
Yeah,
Wendy
for sure.
Williams will definitely do that.
Yeah.
There's something about her that like I can just see her switch up, like when she's in a room full of like power moves, power movers, and a janitor.
God. Yeah,
oh my god,
sure.
you know, like, oh man, that's a great example. For some reason, man, I was gonna say like, yay.
Yes.
Yay.
Most definitely.
You know.
Yeah. Look at how he treated Trump. You
Yeah.
know? That was nasty.
Bro, going back to, I just got a thought right now that I gotta say, which happened in actual real life. You know, Mos Def in the song.
Most Def.
Yeah.
Most Def.
Mos Def.
Yeah.
What, I say Moss?
You said Most Def.
Like Moss Park. Mos Def. So there's a track, one of my favorite tracks. It's called Umi Says, right? And it's such a powerful song. One of the lyrics is I want black people to be free, to be free, to be free. I want black people to be free, to be free. So it says like, Umi says, "Why don't light up the world?" Right? And then at the end, it was like, I want black people to be free. So Nike wanted to use that for a commercial. And in this commercial, they asked Mos Def to like change the lyrics.
Most Def.
Mos Def. I was going to say Moss. You know, it's my Kenyan in me, you know, the way you say certain is like Moss, you know, like I say like actual Mos. I don't say, so that's what I'm saying. Mos Def, you know? So Mos, was it? Mos Def, right?
Most Def.
Mos Def, right? He changed up the lyrics, right? Which I was kind of like, man, like, why did you switch up your art to fit into a Nike commercial?
For that bag.
Right? And even on the radio, like, it was such a great song. They wanted to play on the radio, but they wanted it to fit to like everybody. But like that song was made for a specific community that's endured a lot of pain and struggle, and now they're being told to like switch it up. That's what I don't like, bro. It's kind of like someone telling us to switch up the way we talk on the podcast just because they're giving us the bag, right? So it's as a creator, where's the line, right? Dave Chappelle, say certain things like this for your comedy because we're paying you because it fits under the Comedy Central brand. You know, like, where do you as a creator, do you once you gain freedom, are you really free from that whole trap of like being controlled then?
Well, it's funny you bring up Kanye because he brought up a similar point, when he was rapping about being called a god, right? Then he said, hey, when he says that he kills people, or when black people talk about killing people, there's no one's discrediting that. No one wants to challenge that,
Yeah.
But when he says I am a god, people started coming at him. And even though I don't agree with him saying I am a god.
Why do you have a problem with that?
Because it's blasphemous. Blasphemy is literally saying you're a god.
It's blasphemous to say that.
Yeah.
But are we all made in the image of God?
Yeah, that's being made in the image of God.
So we are God.
No.
Yeah.
If you're made in the image of something, that doesn't mean you are that. You're made in the image of your father, but you're not your father.
Well, my father is God's son.
No, but your actual father, like your biological father.
Yeah.
You're made in the image of him.
Yeah.
But you're not him.
But
if you were to call him your father, if you say I am my father, you'd be speaking falsely.
But when we say, "Oh Father," in Christianity or any religion, you are attributing to a god of some sort.
So you're saying I'm a god?
I am a god because we're like God, and this goes into religion now, right? Like I don't know how religious you are.
I was raised in
the church.
In a very religious environment.
I know you're religious. Like, I'm the same way. Like we're cut from the same cloth, bro. So knowing that, like reading the Bible, it says we're made in God's image, right? Like there's one verse in the Bible. It says, "Be ye imitators of God as their children," right? So we're meant to imitate God because we're God's children, because we are God in a way, because we're made in that. So when Kanye says, "I am a God," I actually find no offense to that. I kind of like, I believe that because you are God. God exists inside of you. So you are God. You are Alex, a body, but like your spirit is godly. We just gotta tap into that. So I look at it from a different perspective. But going back to what you're saying, why do we go up in arms about that? Maybe Kanye's lifted in a different level, in a different like spirit, that he can see himself as that, even though he may stay humble. He genuinely believes that. And that's okay. And
what he genuinely believes goes against the societal norm of what black music should fit into.
Exactly.
And that's why other people get hurt. Like Lil Nas X and Lil Boosie. That's why that happened, because that doesn't fit into Lil Boosie's characteristic of what he thinks black music should be.
Man, speaking of these guys, man, we gotta I just want to take a moment, R.I.P. to Young Dolph, man.
Yeah.
That was cold.
That was sad. That was really sad.
It takes me back to like a tweet Marlon just said recently, like saying black men deserve to see themselves old.
Yeah. Yeah, R.I.P. to Dolph, man. We lost another like possible billionaire.
Bro. Owned his masters, owned his work, owned everything.
Yeah.
It's like another nip, man.
And not even in the sense of billionaire being like you are what your money is, but in the sense of like what he can mean to the people, the ideas he was bringing. He was someone who preached independence. He was someone who preached, doing it yourself, DIY. So it's another person that was a very big spirit in what we believe in, what we believe will take us to the next level. And yeah, he's gone now, man. So R.I.P. to Dolph, condolences to his family, prayers to his family. And he's a father. He had like 3 kids or something like that.
3 kids and a wife.
A black wife.
Black wife. Black family.
My woman is black, unlike people who criticize me. So R.I.P. to Dolph, man. But yo,
talk to me.
You hear about the Nike NFT?
Oh, what's going on,
bro?
I gotta learn more about NFTs, bro.
Yeah,
it's such a interesting. What it is, but like, what is NFTs, man? It's like, how do we get started making our own NFTs?
Honestly, we should drop one. We should learn how to make one and then drop one for our Hustler Fest. You know what I'm saying?
Hustle Fest.
Did I say Hustler Fest?
Hustler Fest.
Wow, that was horrible. Atrocious.
How do you mess up your own event name, bro?
That's atrocious. Should I cut that out?
No, just
I don't
keep
know.
it.
You're gonna keep it.
Yeah.
But nah, what Nike's doing, I think, is extremely important. You know, because it's gonna be a game changer for the resale market. You know, cause you know how it's gonna happen, no? Or
no, man, I'm waiting for you to like tell me like.
So basically, Nike's partnering with a company to create NFTs for their shoes. So when one shoe drops, it'll come with an NFT. So once you sell it, you know, everybody will eat. Nike will get another commission based off the sale, and then once you sell it, it'll continue to appreciate or not really appreciate, but continue to get commissions from each sale driven. So Nike will continuously eat.
So okay, so let me understand what you're saying here. So Nike, let's say we make a Nike Air Max shoe. We make an NFT for that Nike Air Max 47 or whatever. Right? And we make one NFT. So once I own that NFT, I let the value of it just continue growing with the status of how well the shoe does. So let's say Kanye or Drake drops a Nike Jordan shoe. It comes with an NFT. So that NFT could be 40K worth of an NFT because there's only one of it that exists.
There's that part of it.
Okay.
There's also, if they make it for $1, or if they make it the NFT worth the exact same value of the shoe. So I buy a pair of Air Forces for $100, and the NFT costs $100, or just let's say it's a group purchase because it's, you know, packaged together, bundled. And then once I sell that, let's say I get 1%. Then I get 1% commission off that, and I continuously earn off that. That's what the thesis is, I believe, on the Nike NFT.
So I buy the NFT from you.
Yeah.
And
buy the shoe from you, and the shoe comes with the NFT. So I sell. All right. So we're back to my thing. I chop the Air Force, and I sell that to you, right?
You sell me.
I sell you the Air
in
Force
the secondary market.
In the secondary market now.
So let's say on StockX.
On StockX.
Okay.
And I sell you the Air Force. All right, NFT check, come with the NFT. So you know now it's double real because you get the actual shoe and the NFT. So it's certified. And then you get the NFT and you get the shoe. So now you have both in your hands, and I get the sale from both the NFT and the shoe. And you can go and sell that, and it just goes further and further and further. And Nike gets commission off the sale as well, because that's what NFTs work.
So they're dripping. They're making. It's like a dividend now.
Exactly.
So they're always gonna make money. Yeah.
Forever, bro.
So that NFT might make.
So much more.
It might be like a 500. Bro, imagine if Jordan had NFTs too. Disgusting, bro. That would be. Imagine like what a like what's a. Let me just make it simpler, man. Let's say like Red 11s. Like imagine when Jordan was in Jordan back in the day, and the shoe drops
with the NFT.
And the NFT, bro. And Jordan's career goes the same way it's gone, and now here we are, like 28, right?
And you have an OG NFT.
OG NFT.
What?
You're
eating for sure,
bro. Like oh man, how much would that even be? That'll be worth so much money. To know that it's kind of like you. It's like a signed jersey from the flu game, bro. Like one of a kind, and you didn't even wash it. There's a Jordan sweat on it.
Yeah.
From like 96.
That's where we're headed.
Bro, this is what we gotta be in, bro. NFTs, man.
For sure. When we do our event, we gotta drop NFTs with the event. We gotta partner with my boy Lloyd.
He makes NFTs.
He makes NFTs. He sold his NFT for, I think it was like two crypto. Wow, I sound like a scammer. Yeah. 2 crypto for 2 Ethereum, and you know, he's eating off it. He's gone back into video editing now, so I should probably hire him for our video editing. But Yeah, he knows how to make NFTs, man. How to get everything minted, you know. So, yeah.
Yeah, you know, that it's interesting thing with the NFTs, man, because Ben Baller just came out with his own NFTs.
Interesting.
Like, bro, Ben Baller is like, he's like the next Gary Vee.
You think so?
In a way, the way he moves, man, it's like he's on every trend. He's on baseball cards, he's on NFTs, he's like in crypto. It's like he's always a step ahead, right? He's not really stuck in his like own way of like, I'm a jeweler now, right? He's like, bro, his podcast is now like a top 10 podcast in the business category. And even if it's like a business podcast.
Is that even a business podcast?
It's like he talks business, but the way he talks about it is not like the way Rashad and Troy from Earn Your Leisure or NPR podcasts are. It's like, it's just him talking. And bro, he's a solo podcaster.
He has stories, so he can do that.
Yeah, he has stories, man.
Yeah.
He's seen it all. You know? But I just want to like know, like, how do I get an NFT portfolio? The same way I can get like a crypto portfolio.
I'm not an NFT expert. I am not the person to talk to. And I wish more people could say that. Not enough
that.
people. Yeah, not enough people can be like, "Hey, I don't know."
Yeah, you know,
I don't.
Some people fake the funk too much, man. It's like it's a pressure. It's a pressure. I remember just there's like, you know, sometimes like I'm around people and like they talk about like, yo, like ask, you know, those type of people who try to do math really quick, right? And like they're trying to like, I'm like, sometimes I'll be like, I'll just pull out my calculator and just be like, Rod, like I actually cannot do that multiplication. Like I
while they're sitting there stuck, like carry the one.
Yeah, carry the one. Like it's just like, and then there's some people, right? That like they beat you to the punch. It's like, so yeah, like, oh, it's like 37% off. So yeah, that's actually gonna be like $1,200. Like, bro, I'm not grading you.
Yeah,
I'm not grading you on like what this freaking percentage of 37% off of like 1,400 or whatever you're getting is like, that's what it is. You know, like I just want to know. You gotta just take your calculator and just done it.
Word.
There's some observations I make. I'm like, you know, Jerry Seinfeld, like when he tells his jokes, you ever notice when people are doing this, whatever? This would be a good comedy skit. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. What else is new in your world, bro?
What else is new in my world, bro? Man, it's just kind of getting dark at 4 now. So I really got to just really maintain my energy after 4 o'clock so I can not feel as if like I got to go to bed.
Drink more coffee.
Man, I'm drinking more coffee like now, and then it's even harder to go to bed, right? So, but
let's talk about that Den video, because shout out to Den, Steph and Den.
Steph and Den,
they just dropped a video on YouTube, and it touched you.
It did touch me, bro.
We'll link to the video in our description so you can go to it. You know, he was just talking about the rat race.
The rat race, man, and I'm sure everyone relates to this. So when you're I don't say entrepreneur because not everyone's an entrepreneur, but everybody is working a 9-to-5 job right now, or some type of work where they work like full-time hours, and you really start experiencing this feeling of what Den was saying. What Den was saying, hey, you know what? We all graduate from school. We all want this prestigious job. You go to Deloitte, you go to KPMG. You get a cool fancy job at like some tech startup, and then you get a nice condo downtown, and you're like, I'm where I'm supposed to be right now. And that's where I am right now, right? Like I have a great job, which I'm very thankful for. I have a very nice home, right? And I live alone in Toronto, like, which is a blessing. But once you really pass that threshold, you start realizing that, is this really impactful? Am I really making a dent into what I'm doing? What am I living for? What are you really living for when you're doing this type of job? Because one thing about a job is that you can get hired, you can do a great job, you can make amazing contributions, but once you go, they put up another job post on LinkedIn for that same role. And you leave like, okay, guy, bye, thank you so much for everything. You don't own the company. So you've done all this work, you've made money, you've paid, you've saved some bread, but you don't own it, right? So when I watched this video from Den, it really made me feel like, man.
Steph and Den.
Shout
out to Steph.
Yeah, shout out to Steph too. Like she's an amazing half of Steph and Dan podcast, the whole brand and everything. But it really touched me because that's the same feeling I have. Here we are, we're building our podcast, we're building our brand, which is amazing. But some days you can feel like, are you really making any progress? Even though you are making progress, just the senses of what you see, it's not moving fast enough for you to leave your current station so you can fully focus on that. So that's how I feel right now. Like, the job is good, but I feel like I need more out of myself. I feel like a lot of my creative hours, a lot of my creative thinking time is spent at work. And then when I come out, especially during this time of year, the most creative juices, you have to really dig deep after work to really get on and like legit edit and do whatever and just continue that grind, right? So that's how I feel, man. It's just like, now I'm just looking for, like, man, what more can I do? What more can I really? Because, bro, if you lose your job, man, it's like you have no other source of income, right? It's like you're in scramble mode, right? Like I won't be in scramble mode or whatever, but you don't have FU money.
You got I am money.
I am money.
I'm going to do it.
I'm going to do it. Hey, can you come to that meeting? Like, it's at like 9 p.m. tonight. You can't say no.
I'm going to do it.
So it kind of goes back to that whole thing with
Should we name this podcast I Am Money?
Sure.
I think that's
yeah, I am money, bro. Mm-hmm. It goes back to what Dame Dash was saying. Like, who's really the boss? Who's really the boss of your house? Remember that Breakfast Club interview?
Mm-hmm.
Right? No, you're not the... Who's the man of the house in the family?
Mm-hmm.
You're not the man of the house. The man of the house is your employer. Because they put food on your table. They put food on your kid's table. They pay your school's tuition. Right? So until you don't own, until like they don't have you by the balls, that's your boss. That's who runs your life. You know? So I'm just thinking, bro, like, what more can I do, man? It's really exhausting.
Well, firstly, it's the feeling of fulfillment, you know, and yeah. It's the feeling of fulfillment, and it's the why. It's the why. It's why am I doing this? Why am I going forward? You know, so I had to work this out in therapy a bit. It's like, why am I still here? Because when I was at my last job, I was like, yo, I'm ready to go. I'm so ready to go. And one thing that had to really register with me is, you know, why am I doing it? Why am I still there? It's because that's funding this that gets to, you know, give something that's giving me my why. So it's an actual mechanism for that, you know, and that can lead to your fulfillment. And then once you have the money to replace that, then your why can still be aligned as long as you're having the funds to fulfill it, right? So that's kind of where that comes from me, is being able to just lock in on your why. And if it's not, then maybe go find fulfillment somewhere else. You know, maybe you find more fulfillment, you know, working for a charity, volunteering, shopping, you know, going crazy, whatever it is for you, is finding that. What happens a lot of times, though, is that we get in this circle, like Steph was mentioning in the video, of work, coffee, sleep, work, coffee, sleep, shop a little bit, you know, maybe go out for dinner, work, coffee, sleep, work, coffee, sleep. And then, and without any fulfillment, we look up one day and they're like, yo, what's going on with me? And the inner child in you is gone. The feeling of fulfillment's gone. And the thing is, too, is that we think that once we get to that level, we'll feel accepted. You know, there's going to be acceptance at that level.
Once you get a title, you're like, yo, I'm the senior, like,
the senior digital VP of operations.
Exactly. I'm the chief whatever. Like, that's dope, but so?
Facts. But so word.
You know, we spend so much time building up a resume of things of where we've worked, and once you legit retire, you're like, rah, I've never retired, but I'm just putting myself in that position.
Yeah.
I was COO of whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing that's kind of becoming the test for me is like if I was to tell my grade 3-4 self, this is what I'm doing. How would I look at myself? You know.
This is Al like back in Scarves. Is it Rex? Is it no? You didn't grow up.
Malvern,
not Rexdale.
Yeah, I look at myself crazy. Oh, that's what you do. All right, cool.
So like, imagine little Alex standing right here and like looking at it, it's like, wow, that's me. That's raw. That's me. That's how we should be doing right now, bro. Like, what would a 6-year-old you think?
Word. You know, it's funny. I was talking the other day. I went swimming for the first time in a while, and I
In
used
your
to,
building?
In my building, yeah. And you know, usually when I go swimming now, I use the little ladder on the side of the pool. You know what I'm saying, to get into the pool. And this time, I jumped in. I just went for it. It's like, you know what? I'm jumping, and not just like a local, you know, pebble stuff. I ran from the back.
Is it the ones like, what do you call cannonball? Did you cannonball?
I didn't cannonball. I wasn't that childish, but I definitely held my nose. You know what I'm saying? You know, you pinch your nose like a little kid. You know, so I jumped in like a little kid. For the first time, I was like, dang, I feel this is what I used to love as a kid. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, bro, like I've probably escaped that for so long. And I was like, what was making me continuously use the stairs? It's the safety, you know.
And you're like, bro, you're a young guy. Like you have no aches, no pains. It's not like you're creaking bones or whatever.
No, my bones creak. I get up and my bones creak. You too. I see you stretching. You must be cracking.
Yo, you see I'm stretching like my inner like whatever. I need to go back to my massage, bro. Like I got a massage for the first time this past weekend, like when I was
Word, yeah. You were on vacation, right?
Vacation, bro. I was getting worked, bro. Like that massage was dope. First ever massage I've gone. And the massage therapist was like A+. Shout out to Shayna. She really
yeah, we always do these shout outs that no one's going
shout out to Shayna.
Yo. Fact, shout out to Shayna. Shout out to my cashier at Metro.
Shout out to the pears.
Word.
I was getting pizza at Pico on Thursday, man, and I was looking at the pears, right? And the guy who always makes my pizza, you know, shout out to Talak. You know, I'm shouting him out. If you ever go in Pico here, like on Richardson Street, Toronto.
Speaking of which, sorry, go
ahead. Shout out to the pears. Right? So this is a reference to Rick Ross, right? He's doing a little interview. He's like, you know, Ross, you know, you've lost a lot of weight. You know, you've done, you know, you look great. You're like, what's your secret? He's just like, I've been eating pears and stuff like that. Shout out to all the pears.
Shout out to all the pear. Word. That's an OG meme.
OG. Bro, that'd be a good NFT to make, bro. Like, shout out to the pears.
Shout out to the pear. Word. It's funny you mentioned that though. When I was downstairs, I actually talked to the owner of the franchise. And
the guy, the old man with the white hair.
Yeah.
Silver guy.
Yeah, Alan is his name. And he said that he'd be interested to come on the pod, so you know.
I said that.
You told him to? That's hilarious.
I know. I said I podcast.
Oh, okay.
But he's like, oh, what's your podcast?
Yeah, you thought that was you.
He maybe thought you was me because like I go there a lot, right? And I think we came in there one time with Dean, and I think he saw us because he's always sitting in the back like doing like, you know, financial stuff, probably about his business. But I feel like that guy has like other franchises he owns.
He doesn't. I asked him about it and he said this is the only one.
Yeah, he's just starting out.
Yeah, just starting out. But you know, franchises are tough to operate, and well, not tough to operate, but tough to start because it takes a lot of capital.
Bro, there's one franchisee downstairs, like he owns the Big Smoke Burger, like across. He's so passionate about that business, right? Every time I come in, he's always telling me how fresh the meat. Hey, you know, this is fresh meat. You know, it's fresh from the grill. You know, this potato we cut in house. Everything. Like, he's so like, I've never seen a man. I mean, I have, but just to see that happiness he has over his business, where he cares to tell me like the origin of the meat, the bun, the way he like puts up like the garnishings at the front, like that is like what happiness is, bro. You know, he cares about like even a crumb of whatever. You should go in there, just talk to the guy. Like legit, he'll talk your ear off about like like beef.
Yeah.
And I love that, bro. Like my mom loves to talk about beef with butchers. Like she's that type of person.
Really?
She'll go to like the ends to find beef. You know, like she is like, you know, in the aunties, like when they get together, they're always talking about meat, bro. It's so
really.
Yeah, bro. Like they was talking about, yeah, you know, I went to this place over at the farmers, and they
Aunties love talking
they
about
always
food.
extend
That's
the
a
plug
fact.
of where they found the meat at.
That's a fact.
That, like, you know, and I don't want to be gender stereotyping here, but like that's what the pops are always talk, because pops are the ones who slaughtered the goats and stuff back home, you know. So to see the moms just talking about meat, I was just like, what are you guys talking about? Like you guys talking about goat and chicken and shit and butchery. Shout out to the butchers, man.
Shout out to the butchers.
Shout out to the butchers. Yeah, man. But back to what I was saying, bro. Like, yeah, fulfillment is right, man. It's just like, how do we find the fulfillment? It's so unfair how life is, bro, because you gotta like work hard every day and then pay your bills and then chase your dreams. Like, you know, I wish it was.
The tough part is when you don't know what your dreams are. You know, that's like a lot of people don't know what their dreams are. They're just like, well, I don't even know what I like. They've spent so much time just focused on getting to a job or getting to a place of, you know, like where they don't have to stress about paying the next bill.
Yeah, what life is, it's like a structure. It's laid out for us, you know? So we don't have to think about like, hey, like what's the plan, right? It's like, oh, you know, go to school, get married, have kids, and like whatever. So what are our dreams, man? Why do people have dreams, man? If you ask me what my dream is, it's just, I have so many. They change every day.
Well, what was one dream you had as a kid that you still have today?
As a kid, how young kid?
Like, I'm talking elementary school before grade 6. That's when you're a real kid. Before grade 6, actually, before grade 4, I think you're a still innocent kid. Yeah.
What's a dream I had?
Before grade 4. Grade 6, you're a little runt.
Dream I had, man, was at the time, the only thing I was existing is like I wanted to play in the NBA. But I can't do that anymore. Like, but I still imagine myself as an NBA player, bro. Like every time I'm hooping, I'm just kind of like, bro, I belong.
You definitely do.
Like you see me when we hoop, right? It's like I still think I'm an NBA player because I'm like that good, you know. I was better when I was younger, but when I was a kid, man, I always wanted to be on TV. I used to watch TV and I'd be like, man, I like what I like. I want to be on that. I want to be watched like them. I want to be seen like them.
Interesting.
Right? Like when I used to see like Ryan Seacrest present on American Idol, like when my mom like we finished school, like this is like when we come to Canada, right? Like we're like watching all these like guys like do these award shows and like they're so revered. They're like the spotlight's on them and we're at home watching them. And like, man, that's so cool. Like just look at them being on TV. Like I want that. I want to feel like a star, you know? And that's why, like I always say to you, I want to be famous.
I never understand it. I never do.
I want to be famous. I just want to get, maybe I don't want to be famous, but I want to get a taste of it.
Is it fame or acceptance?
What's the difference?
Fame is just being known by everybody. Acceptance is being respected by your peers.
I want both. Like you see like the way Leo like with Bezos' woman. When you see that clip,
that little meme that went viral.
Exactly,
okay.
right? Like, look at Bezos, bro. Bezos is a billionaire. Billies, like I'm not like there's Billionaire Boys Club, and then there's like this is like elite billionaires boys club. Like he's a past 100. He has like a banging woman there with him. Is she banging? She's like, nah, man. She's past.
Well, billionaires, yo. I swear, a lot of these billionaires have bad taste. Besides
bad taste.
Kanye, like Grimes.
Oh my god,
Grimes ain't it, dog. Can we keep it a buck about Grimes?
Like, what
Even
is
though
she?
she's
What
Canadian?
does he see in her? What does Musk see in her?
Like I'm pulling up Grimes
so
right now.
freaking beat, man.
Dang. You ain't gotta go. You went for the axe with that one.
Like,
Jeez. But all right, but yeah, no,
so burst.
yeah, I wasn't seeing Grimes as you know, billionaire. You think that, you know what it is that even as a billionaire, all you want is peace, you know. Because as men, it's like, can this woman bring me peace? That's the real question.
Yeah, last thing you want to stress.
Last thing you want to stress. And I didn't realize it, but one thing I was discovering is that, you know, emotion under happiness is peace. Mm-hmm. You know, so really what we want is to be happy, but we don't. It feels weird to be as guys to say, I just want to be happy. Mm-hmm. You know, but peace feels like an actual direct feeling and emotion we want.
Yeah.
You know.
That's a great way to put it.
But yeah, I don't know about ground.
But the Leo man, he's just like there, like you see, like Leo man. Leo's not as rich as Bezos, right? But here's Bezos' girl looking at Leo like, rah, like look at this, like you know he's looking at him like she's hungry for this man. Mm-hmm. And bro, that finger wag he did, it was like a power move. And you still see the way she's looking at him, chasing him, like as he's moving away. And then Bezos like looks like, you know, even like Bezos saw it and he just looked away. Like he's just kind of like, oh my god, like, because the chick is like pushing her chest up on Leo, right? And that's the thing. Like Leo has fame, Bezos is balling, Bezos is accepted, but Leo is that freaking guy. You know, it doesn't date a ting under like, you know, over 20, 25.
Oh, for real? I know that.
Bro, all Leo's girlfriends are like young, man.
Didn't he date Rihanna at one point?
Bro, he's dated everybody. You know what I'm saying? So,
but that's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? Next week though, we have some amazing podcasts lined up.
Yeah.
We got Giselle about to join. Giselle's a venture capitalist.
This is the second VC we're gonna have on the pod.
We have Jasmine Lee about to join the pod. You know, we have Dwight. Shout out to Dwight. About to join the pod. We have and Dwight is from Dwight Murray from Miami Fades. He owns one of the most successful barbershops in the nation. Barbershop franchises, to be specific. Is it a franchise? No, it's not a franchise. It's not a franchise. But still one of the most successful barbershops. So we have a lot of good guests, guys. So make sure you keep it locked, keep it tuned in with us. We have a lot going on. If you haven't followed us on Instagram, make sure you go do that. YouTube, yo.
Subscribe.
I hate to be this person, you know. Hit the like button, guys.
But,
make sure you hit the like and subscribe.
It's like when you're watching Kevin Samuels, it's like he stops the show and just everyone like tells you hit the like button, and then he puts up this beat. It's like this rock song.
Really?
Yeah, you know, classic KS. But yeah, guys, subscribe to us on YouTube. We're trying to get to 1 million subscribers by the end of the year, guys, so to help us get there.
Right now we're at 180.
180 something subs.
Yeah, so it would be amazing if y'all subscribe and just start tuning in there, because it's our new platform. And another thing too is that people starting to evaluate us by YouTube channels when we have been podding for so long, and it's just not a proper representation of the pod,
because they're seeing clips.
They're seeing little clips that's like 5 views, 6 views. I'm like, that's not. We have an audience.
Yeah.
So yeah, I appreciate y'all for tapping in with us and locking in. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add before you get out of here?
No, just I wish everybody a safe, healthy week ahead, and yeah, just remember wherever you are in life, things are always moving. It's temporary, and as much whatever feeling you're having right now, just know things change and it's not permanent, and that's I'm gonna take my own advice, and as well too, I just want to leave everyone with that.
Most definitely. Before we get out of here, I actually want to shout some people out. I'll put this at the front so we can get this off, because we want to shout out the people who have been listening to us and rocking with us for a while. I want to give a shout out to Alicia for getting a new job. She just got a new job as an accountant, and she was talking to us about Instagram DM. So we're very active on Instagram, and we're going to be very active on YouTube. So yeah, once again, subscribe. And if you're not following us on Instagram, make sure you go do that, because our DMs are popping, and we're consistently talking to people and continuing to help and build our community. So make sure you tap in. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up the podcast. The hustle is what you can control. So control your grind and control your life. I'm Alex.
And I'm Owen.
That's hustle over everything, y'all. Peace.
Have a great week, guys. Peace out.
Thank you so much for listening. The conversation continues on our Instagram at 247hustler. We post very frequently. And be sure to check out our merch at hustleovereverything.co. We have some amazing sweaters, hats, mugs, and a lot more. Lastly, our Proud to Pay program is linked in the description below. Thank you so much for your support. Talk to you next Monday. Peace.